Hi, this is Marcia Brubeck of marciabrubeck.com. In this short video, I want to give couples a really important communication tool. It's sort of communication 2.0. It's not your first level. It has to do with our responsibilities to each other. Now, if the two of you get into a fight or the two of you start talking about a sensitive issue, somebody may get upset. And one of the things people often hear is, you made me feel this. You made me angry. You hurt me. And a lot of times, that's not what the other person intended. And it's possible for two people to get into a lengthy argument about that. I'd never meant to say that. That wasn't what I said. That, you put another interpretation on it. I don't know what you heard, but that certainly wasn't what I meant. So there needs to be some kind of basic agreement between people, a basic understanding that each of us is responsible for what we say and what we do, but not for what the other person thought we did or what the other person thought we said or heard. Just as we remember things selectively, especially as we get older, large chunks of time drop out of memory, we also hear things selectively. What we hear and what we remember have a lot to do with the programming we went through when we were children. We internalized a lot of what we heard. We interpreted it in a certain way. And now we look for messages in our environment that will reinforce the understanding that we began forming when we were still very small. So what you heard is not necessarily what I said. And it's very important for people to be able to talk about that and to understand that we have control over what we say. We don't have control over what others hear, and we certainly don't have control over other people's feelings. Feelings just are. You can't modify your feelings, but you can certainly modify what you think. You can take a different point of view on what you hear. So if someone says, I'd rather not talk about it, the other person does not need to assume that some terrible secret is being withheld. There can be all kinds of reasons why someone might not want to talk about something. Or if someone says, a dreadful thing happened to me and I'll talk about it later, it doesn't mean that the dreadful thing had to do with the person who is listening to the conversation. We all have a tendency to think that everything that happens involves us in some way, but mostly we're the stars of our own movies, and other people are not really front and center on our radar most of the time. So try to bear in mind that what you are responsible for is just what you said and did, and not what the other person interpreted or what the other person heard you as saying and doing. This is a very complicated idea, but if the two of you can understand this, then you can sit down and discuss the differences and learn how to accommodate each other as you carry on conversations without blaming each other for things over which neither of you has any control. Now, this is one of a number of communication tips that I have written about in my book, Love More, Fight Less. You can get a copy for $40 on my website, marciabrubeck.com, or you can go to my website and just sign up for it and get it free of charge. These tips will make a huge difference in your relationship. You don't need to implement all of them. Just a few of them will be enough for you to see real improvement. They don't require any special knowledge, no therapist, no jargon, no PhD. They're easy to use, really simple rules that should actually simplify your life. So go get your copy on my website, marciabrubeck.com, and I'll see you again soon.